They were not only detached from the theological significance of Jesus being present during the Passover, but they lost his physical presence as God himself was incarnate and dwelt among them. However, we don't have the physical presence of Jesus, but we do have the Spirit of Christ that we can discern among us. We can discern the power of God. The power of God is moving in our worship, in our lives, in our marriage, in our school, and in our community. So for us today, we manifest the stewardship of losing sight of Jesus by not having Jesus' spirit and intention in the components of our church operations and worship. Did you get that? We lose sight of Jesus when we don't have the Spirit of Christ on our hearts and on our minds and intentions. When we come to our meetings, to our rehearsals, we just casually come to rehearsals. We just casually come to our meetings, and we're just doing business versus having the Spirit of God conducting our agendas and our businesses. And our ministry intentions are no longer Christocentric, Christ-centered, centered on Christ. We have lost sight of Jesus. And why is this so significant for us? Because the past few Sundays, God has been prophetically speaking in our lives that God is going to burst something through us individually and as a church. And as we go into 2015 and we're doing a new thing for God, we cannot get caught up in a new thing and forget the one who gave us a new thing. We also manifest this stewardship in losing sight of Jesus when we leave church and think we have Jesus with us as we return home, but we really don't have him. We get our praise on, we shout a little bit, and we get our word, but we left Jesus behind. It's a dangerous thing, church, to be in ministry, engaged in the pulpit ministry, singing in the choir or whatever form of service in ministry, and Jesus not be the center of why you do it. It's dangerous to come and get dressed for church for somebody else other than Jesus. I ain't gonna make no friends today, but it's okay. I hope I make some disciples. It's scary. It's a scary thing, hear me, to be in a pew and lift up hands and your hands and you never touch God. It's a scary thing. When you stay here for worship and then you leave and then somebody pulls you over and does a spiritual search of your caravan and they can't find Jesus. You said, I just came to church, and you get pulled over and they do a spiritual search of your car and your and your van, but they can't find Jesus. There's no evidence that you've been to church. See, I'm logged on to Bible.com. I hope you are too. Look at the text. They thought they had Jesus. Look right there. They thought they had Jesus. Matter of fact, the text says that they assumed, they thought that Jesus was with someone else. Come on, help me, Holy Ghost. In the caravan. They didn't stop to assess the situation. They didn't call out to Jesus to make sure that his presence was still there. You're getting this? They just assumed that somebody had Jesus with them and kept on going. Oh God. These are those who were entrusted with Jesus. Watch